The photographs that I supplied were all taken in the 90s. They were all taken as a result of a program that I did on South African television from 1989 to 1998. It was an exercise program that came on after the 6 o'clock news in the morning, 5 times a week, called Body Beat. And digging out those photographs was a kind of blast from the past, because it brought back a whole decade of a particular kind of work that I did. I was the presenter. I had to speak to a camera while I was walking, talking, jumping, doing exercise, instructing. And it was always done with an outside broadcast unit, so we could travel all over the country and to places like Namibia and even to Zimbabwe. So one of the pictures that I dug out, and I was really quite happy to see, was a picture of me on a camel, which was taken in Swakop, or whatever is the name, Swakopmund, sorry, a place in Southwest Africa, in Namibia. So it was a kind of indication of the places that we would film. We would provide 10 minutes of exercise for the country each morning after people watched the news. And immediately after our program, they would show a cartoon so that kids who were getting ready to go to school would know that it was time that they should brush their teeth if they had any, and get ready to get on the road. Program itself was, for me, a great pleasure because it gave me an opportunity to visit the country. We would travel to different locations, go away for 2 days for a weekend when I wasn't teaching at the university, film at least 15 programs so that they would be in the can ready for transmitting at different times to the country. What else can I tell you? We had about 1.5 million viewers, which in a sense made me recognizable by some people because I was the so-called exercise man. It helped me later because when the television stopped the program, interestingly enough, it was because of new management at SABC where they considered exercise unimportant and much more important simply to take talking heads filling the screen, which is an indication that SABC still has no idea about the meaning of television, which is an entertainment medium where you shouldn't have what you're seeing at the moment, a boring head simply talking. You could do that on radio without having to look at my face. The program was interesting because I would be provided with the recorded music about a week before I would fly to whatever venue we were going to film in, and I would then plan the exercises to accommodate the music that would be used as the soundtrack on a separate track to what was recorded with me being filmed and instructing with a crowd of people, usually 4 or 5, to illustrate exercises to people in the country. And so for a year I had to try to come up with different, more interesting stuff, try to make it entertaining, try to keep the people who were filming all day, because we had started at 8 in the morning till the sun went down, to keep the energy levels up of people. And one of the things we know about television is finishes you. It finishes you. You have to have much bigger, wider, more overactive movements to make it look reasonable when you see it on screen. And that led to people being pretty tired by the end of the day. So my job was really to keep up their energy levels. Each program that took 10 minutes would appear on a different day, even though you might have filmed 6 or 7 programs in one day, so you had to pretend, hello, good morning, it's a different day. You'd sweat like a hog filming outdoors, so you'd change your clothes often. You'd be shooting in all sorts of places like beaches, deserts, next to rivers, whatever places were seen to be attractive. So very often there were no toilet facilities, so people learnt the good old South African thing of squatting off camera and then changing wherever you could. You weren't sweating wherever you could. You weren't sweating, that you were in different outfits, that you were ready to provide the entertainment for the day. And it led to some really interesting things. We would have filmed something in Cape Town a month ago. It would appear this morning, I'd be in a supermarket at 8 o'clock. Somebody would come up to me and say, how the hell did you get back from Cape Town in so short a time? It's an indication of just how easy it is to indicate that television is a phony medium, in the sense that what you show on the screen is what people respond to. So the great thing about being able to provide people exercise program for 10 minutes, you do it to music, different paces, you'd work different parts of the human body. You'd always have a bunch of different people behind you, usually girls. We try to find guys. It was much harder to get guys doing aerobics at that particular period. We were dressed using the kind of clothing of the time. So it's always kind of a historical thing. If you look at them now, you say, ooh, who dresses that way? I even had hair back then. But it was a gas, because it gave you the opportunity to have fun while working hard, being paid, which doesn't happen often in this country. And it also helped piss off the people that I taught with at the university, because they found that somebody who was doing something in popular culture wasn't really cultural enough, and they felt a little embarrassed about it. The people who filmed with us will always be people who knew how to move to exercise music. You didn't have time to teach people to do something. Their job was to follow me, to teach people who are watching their television screens and jumping around in front of a television set in the comfort of their own homes. So often the people who were dancers, who were professional, who were able to follow instructions quickly. And the good thing was, it gave us an opportunity. We were run by SABC. It was the apartheid years. In the early days, they insisted on only whites. We insisted on using people of all colors, because exercise is universal. So I'm kind of proud to say we were the first program on South African TV, only 3 channels then, that were multicultural, multiracial, and it gives me a little point where I've made some kind of contribution to the history of television in this country.